Look at this gear. It is spinning furiously, but it is completely disconnected from the machine around it. Enterprise AI adoption looks exactly like this. Companies are buying up new tools and licenses at record speed, operating under the illusion that adding powerful technology automatically creates business progress. In reality, it creates a capability overhang. That is the dangerous gap between the raw power an AI model possesses and the internal systems your company actually has in place to extract value from it. When you operate in that gap, you are forced to rely on vanity metrics. You might see your marketing team increase their content output by 30% and call the tool a success. But if your competitors are using the exact same tools to increase their output by 50%, your celebration is actively harmful. You are losing ground without realizing it. To find your actual operational bottlenecks, you have to move past surface-level usage data and build an AI maturity map. In this guide, we are going to categorize the tools you are currently testing. We will score your team across 6 specific dimensions of readiness. Finally, we will generate a one-page investment checklist to target your weakest link. You cannot translate technological capability into return on investment until you know exactly how to measure your readiness against your peers. Step 1 is taking inventory. Write down 3 to 5 AI tools or pilot programs your team is actively running. This diagram is the opportunity radar. We use this framework to categorize your initiatives based entirely on the setup complexity required to make them work. Look at the center ring. This is prime time. These are use cases that require zero setup and yield immediate organizational value. Think of off-the-shelf tools that handle basic meeting summarization or draft standard emails. The middle ring is emerging. These tools need light infrastructure or custom knowledge bases to function effectively. You cannot just turn them on. They require a specific setup to return value. The outer edge is the frontier. These are highly valuable applications, like fully autonomous agentic workflows that demand heavy, custom infrastructure to run safely. Organizing your pilot programs into these 3 rings stops a very common failure: teams attempting to execute complex frontier projects while relying entirely on basic primetime infrastructure. This chart will map your AI maturity. We assess readiness across 6 dimensions, scoring each from a scale of 1, meaning significantly behind, to 5, meaning significantly ahead. The first axis is deployment depth. A low score here means your team is using an AI tool in a superficial, isolated way, like keeping a chatbot open in a separate browser tab. A high score means the AI operates as a deeply integrated workflow agent, handling tasks with genuine autonomy. Next is systems integration. Are your tools siloed, or does the AI automatically drive actions inside your central enterprise platforms? If an agent can automatically extract insights and set up outreach campaigns natively within your CRM, you score high. This bar chart illustrates a hard limit. Data quality acts as a physical ceiling on your progress. If your team relies on unmanaged data or requires employees to manually upload PDFs, your capability is capped at basic assistance. The fourth dimension is outcomes. In the rush to adopt AI as quickly as possible, most companies completely bypass the step of establishing return on investment measurement frameworks. A high score in deployment depth yields nothing if poor data quality and disconnected systems prevent you from measuring actual business outcomes. Here, we see AI investment flowing through a funnel. Right now, companies spend 93% of their budgets on AI infrastructure and only 7% on human training. This severely constricted bottleneck represents the 5th dimension, people. The final dimension is governance. Do your employees actually know the rules? Do they know where to get access permissions or what the security protocols are for the specific tools they use every day? Notice the difference in this split-screen comparison. Highly regulated departments, like finance teams, score remarkably well here. Decades of strict regulatory requirements have built an existing compliance muscle memory that handles AI risks natively. Ignoring the human element and bypassing internal regulations turns expensive AI infrastructure from a competitive advantage into a massive organizational liability. Now, compare the maturity scores your leadership assumes you have against the actual daily reality of the workers executing the tasks. In customer service, 72% of leaders claim their AI training is adequate. Meanwhile, 55% of their frontline staff completely disagree. This tipping scale demonstrates exactly what happens. The AI successfully absorbs the easy, routine tasks. That leaves the human workers to shoulder 100% of the highly complex, emotionally taxing cases. Executives view the automated routine tasks and measure an increase in operational efficiency. The workers view the remaining workload and experience skyrocketing burnout. Deploying AI systems without a simultaneous heavy investment in the humans working alongside them inevitably creates a silent operational crisis. Look at your 6 scores and isolate the absolute lowest number. That dimension is your priority. Look at the first bolded item on this checklist. If people is your lowest score, you draft a targeted fix. Mandate that you will divert 20% of your software budget directly into prompt training and change management. If your lowest score is data, you initiate a strict countermeasure. You enforce a total freeze on purchasing any new AI tools until your internal enterprise knowledge bases are correct. If outcomes is your lowest score, you pause all new pilot programs for 30 days. You use that month to force the establishment of baseline metrics to measure return on investment. Achieving AI maturity does not require upgrading everything at once. You make progress by ruthlessly unblocking your organization's single largest constraint. You now have a structural, systematic view of your AI readiness. You have moved past the distraction of raw technological capability. Watch these scattered data points snap into place. True benchmarking requires taking your internal, isolated scores and comparing them against massive global industry datasets. To measure your team against 150,000 professionals, go to bsup.ai/quiz and take the 18-question diagnostic assessment. This graph plots exactly where you stand. The diagnostic maps the exact gap between your current reality, the industry average, and the optimal on-track trajectory. Abandoning guesswork in favor of structural mapping is the only proven way to secure AI's transformative value.